Welcome to the Powering Through YouTube channel. If you happen to be watching this on Facebook as well. I'm here today to talk to you about the Bulgarian method. If you've been following my posts and my updates on my website or on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll see that I've been doing a version of Greg Knuckles' Bulgarian method. If you're not familiar with what the Bulgarian method is, it's a way of training a max lift every single day. However, on Greg's program, he recommends that you max out anywhere from 4 to 6 days a week. When we say max out, we don't actually mean a shaking, screaming, chest beating, death metal style max. What we're talking about is what he describes as a sort of max, where we go to a point where the heaviest weight we can lift with minimum arousal, and the idea is it just helps us get more casual about lifting very heavy weights and doing that regularly. The Bulgarian method is hard, I won't lie to you. When I started it about 8 weeks ago, I'm just on the beginning of week 8, it's tricky, it's hard. You have to really put your ego aside, and it's definitely made me an awful lot stronger. The two lifts I chose were bench press and front squat. The front squat, however, is a bit of a departure from what Greg Knuckles recommends, and I'll talk about that a little bit later with some of the technical issues I had trying to hit the front squat perfect. A lot of the time it can be quite difficult with very, very heavy loads. And the way I set up my week was I decided to go for a 6-day program. On day 1 I do bench and front squat, and I do pull-ups afterwards. I do behind the neck press day 2. I do a light Romanian deadlift, more like a Dimmel deadlift on day 3, chin-ups on day 4, and then some tricep work on day 5. Then on day 6 I do deadlifts. I did try and put deadlifts in a different place in my setup about day 4, but I just found it too stressful trying to do deadlift that early in the week. I did, however, keep on deadlifting with a lot more success once I put it at the end of the program on day 6. So I had day 7, usually a Sunday, off. I go to the sauna and recover, do that type of thing. And the deadlift was programmed at about 70% for 10 singles. Weeks 1 and 2 and 3 were okay. It was hard. Around week 3, my knees and my elbows really started hurting. But then moving into week 5, I suddenly hit what Greg describes as the Superman effect. And at that point, the program seemed to be doing wonders for me. I came in and I front squatted 170 kilos 5 days out of 10. Prior to doing this program, I'd only ever front squatted 170 once. And that was, one of those days where it feels like you're ready to crush everything in your path. And I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hit that again so quickly. I'm now in week 8, and to be honest, I feel pretty crap. I got sick. I went away just after week 4. Just after week 5, I got sick, and I'm still a little bit sick now. And I've had a real hard time recovering while I've been ill. And I've still managed to maintain good levels of strength. I've hit a number of 165 kilo squats, and I've only managed to do 170 once since I was sick. I went on holiday and my immune system decided to go on a vacation as well, which was no good. The other things that have changed while doing this program is my technical changes. I've changed my grip setup on my front squat about 3 times now, trying to find something that's comfortable, especially under very heavy loads. I keep having a problem now where my left hand just keeps slipping out, which might be due to a little bit of tricep and lat tightness, but just trying to get my head around what's going on there. Like, for instance, this morning I front squat 165, but it was hard. My left hand kept wanting to slip out. My bench press technique has changed a lot as well. I now do my heaviest sets with a very wide grip, whereas I do my warm-up sets and my back-off sets with a much narrower grip. And when it comes to maxing, I've been using my push band to track my velocity. So that gives me an idea of when I need to back off. The only thing is, on the front squat, it's tricky because Greg recommends a velocity somewhere between 0.15 and 0.25, but I generally find that when I hit a front squat that's just below 0.3, I generally miss it. So I've changed my parameters to just around 0.3 speed squat for when I front squat. If I go below that, I generally won't get the lift. The bench press, I've stuck to Greg's recommendations, and the push band really helps in terms of telling me when to keep my ego in check. Hopefully I'm going to run this for another 4 weeks, pending things don't get any worse. Finally starting to get over this cold. If you've got any questions or anything about the Bulgarian program, I'm happy to ask. At the end of this cycle, I'll make up my mind as to whether I probably want to run it again some point next year. What I do like is the flexibility it gives me. For instance, this morning I front squatted, and now it's later in the afternoon. I'm going to do the bench press portion and some pull-ups as well. And that flexibility allows it to fit around my clients, which is great in terms of giving me more time to do other things. Like I said, if you've got any questions, hit me up on Facebook or on Twitter, WS Wayland. Thanks for watching.